cool. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, let's just rip it. What up, y'all?
One.
Happy Money Monday.
Life is good, familia.
Hope you guys are having a fantastic December 9th.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow, we got basically the 10 biggest days of the year. Pretty consistent, like December 10 through 20 seems to be kind of the sweet spot for lots of holiday shopping. And then towards the end of that, make sure you're jacking up the shipping rates and all that good stuff. Somebody, I want to see somebody set the new high score for merchant shipping.
What up, Corey?
What's up, Corey?
Guys? How we doing?
Family, good to see you.
Joe was actually saying he got a merchant refill shipping the other day for like $55, $60, something like that.
But yeah, you got to jack up those rates. Now's a good time to do it, honestly, with how many expedited orders I've been seeing on that. So just head into your shipping templates next day, 1 day, 2 day. Get those updated, and you'll make some extra profit there. Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
TGP. Where's
what
the
up, Toxic?
TGP? You've been telling us you want to meet some people, man. You got to do what?
Make Toxic. You have 30 minutes where we are all still live. Make the Twitter, put the post in here, and
we'll
tweet the bars. We'll retweet you. You have 30 minutes. Go right now.
Got to
I think
Tom doesn't come over and make you hide the FBMs again, right there.
Right. I think you said that historically your best days are like the 10th through the 20th. I know for me, usually like the 14th through the 21st, that week leading right up to Christmas has always been really good for sales. So
it's fantastic. So
some good days ahead.
Make sure everybody's prices are dialed in and stuff too. Like particularly the next couple days, anything you're like about to sell out on and imminently jack the prices up because you'll probably sell it more profitably at the end of next week.
What's up, Pete?
You don't set pricing. Pricing is something you can change whenever you want. Like the best people this time of year are repricing multiple times a day and everything. What that looks like typically is updating your repricer minimums. And if you're not yet using your repricer, you should totally get in that. So you can just search like Fulton Miles repricer on YouTube to get that locked and loaded. How can I get order confirmations to get ungated? You'll get an email right after you purchase. Download that as a PDF right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and let us know what other questions you guys got. If you're watching on the replay, we go live every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern for Money Monday. I was thinking about right before this. It's $20 million plus of combined experience. So ask away, and we're happy to help.
Yeah, but it got declined. Yep, it'll probably get declined 5 to 10 times per brand, regardless of what you submit. So just keep submitting it, and you'll get approved.
And something that helps too is changing the name of the file to ASIN invoice, right? Or ASIN order confirmation. So using that ASIN in the title can sometimes help push it through. There's a lot of little like tricks you can do to help too.
Oh yeah. A couple months in, been sending a bunch of stuff out. 5 boxes last week. That's what's up. Inbound fees keep taking a lot of profit. Yeah. So right now you're in the growth phase, right? So you're probably if shipping is eating all your profit, then you're probably shipping out a good amount of stuff and you're selling $50-$100 a day, that kind of thing. Probably not even that. So yeah, just keep it rolling. You gotta keep feeding the beast and it rolls in.
How can you tell if an out of stock will sell? So look at that keep it graph for the last time that it was in stock and see how well it sold back then. That's not a guarantee that it'll still sell that well, because if it's been out of stock for a while, it might be harder to get the sales going again. But if it's just been out of stock for a little bit of time, see how it did last time it was in stock.
Yeah, that's the nice thing is you have that data. You know what I mean? Which is very, very clutch. So I do have to cancel the previous application. You can do either one. You can either reapply on the same one or just start a new one. So what should I prepare to sell in January? Workout stuff? Nope. Whatever you find profitably, which is always the answer right there. People focus way too much, in my opinion, on like what's seasonal when if you were really, really good at sourcing, then you could focus on what's seasonal. But for now, you got to focus on whatever you can find profitably. Hoodies sell great during summer, right? Slides sell great during winter, right? Not as good, but you get the idea, right? So purely rely on data. Don't rely on like what you think is seasonal, for example. Yeah.
That's a good tip. Yeah. Because I mean, there's going to be seasonal opportunities. Like if you're just looking for good things to buy, you're going to stumble upon some really good seasonal stuff from time to time that can then kind of help like amplify those profits. But in general, just stick to stuff that's selling well regardless.
Yeah. A lot of people, when you do find that seasonal thing though, a lot of the storefronts on it jump into the seller app. They'll basically be like seasonal specialists. Mm-hmm. So if you do find some of those seasonal specialists, like also bookmark their storefront and be like Christmas seller or particular brand seller, that kind of thing, right? And then when the conditions are good for that brand or that season. Jump back into your folder and you're good.
Corey, it looks so simple on your YouTube on how to contact and what to say to close accounts. Is it that simple?
So it's that simple, yes, but it's not necessarily easy. Really, the hard part is just staying on top of the brands and following up with them. Like if you can just stay consistent with following up with a certain salesperson or a certain brand or a certain distributor, you're going to get the account probably 20 to 30% of the time if you just stay on them long enough. So it's more so it's a numbers game for sure, but it's more so a quality numbers game, if that makes
Good to have
sense.
you back, G-Body Benz.
What up?
FBA
What's up, Alejandro?
Roadmapper in the building.
That's what's up. Good to see you, man. Let us
Yeah, what up, Alex?
good profile pick too. Good pick. Good energy.
Oh, he's been killing it in the roadmap calls too. My biz address is my residential address. My prep center is in a different state. What do you recommend to me do over that? Have your shipping address as your prep center, your billing address is you, as well as once you've established that prep center is going to be a long-term partner, add it as one of your addresses on your account too. Amazon knows what prep centers are. Amazon knows what 3PLs are, for example, and you just want to make sure you have it on your account so it matches.
As long as the billing address matches what is on your Amazon account, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and if it helps, I mean, my LLC address is like my dad's house, right? So it's been that way for me forever. So it's all good.
Does he live near you?
No, I mean, in my hometown, it's like an hour and a half.
Gotcha.
Yeah, dox your father on live stream right now, Corey.
I mean, I think anybody could find anything.
I need socials. I need.
Couldn't do them like that. Oh, he's talking about regarding opening accounts. So yeah, it doesn't matter there either, right? Every account application we've ever filled out, the billing address or business address is that address that's linked to your Amazon account, and then your shipping address or your ship to is just that of your prep center. So we do that all the time.
Absolutely printing since yesterday. What's up? Let's get 5 or 10 more of those printing days, and then love it.
Any chance to compete with a third-party seller winning 90% of the buy box? Most likely not, but you probably can. Or that doesn't make sense. Look if the offer count's moving. If the offer count's moving, yes. If not, and it's blocky, no.
Check what that seller is too, right? Is it the brand? If you go to their seller profile, do they have a lot of products within that brand? Do they say any sort of like explicit agreement or the authorized seller of that product? There's kind of ways to kind of go down the rabbit hole to see if that seller is associated directly with that account. But like Miles said, the offer counts could be a huge indicator of that.
Yep. So Corey, how checked out are all the wholesale supplier reps right now with in the holiday season?
You'd be surprised. I mean, I think it just depends on the company. Like those brands out there that sell itself, right? Like the P&Gs of the world and those big brands. I feel like those reps are just like, whatever. Like we'll get back to it in January. But for example, I talked to a rep today. He's a distributor rep for like HVAC type products. And he came to me with a brand. I approached him about one brand initially, and he's like, yeah, they don't allow e-com. We can't do it. So I was about to write him off, but he came back and was like, hey, there's actually this other brand. I already talked to him. I think I can get you in. Like, here's the details. I'm like, whoa, this guy's getting after it.
Yeah, he wants some dudes with money on the line.
Yeah, okay, somebody actually wants to make money here. My type of guy.
Yeah, they're trying to get the wife a new MacBook or something for Christmas.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be able to put something good together. So yeah, not everybody's a bum. Contrary to
the other thing is, and some of the people I've been working with, they have like specific quotas and bonus thresholds that they want to hit at the end of the year.
Yep.
Right, like Corey, the guy I work with overseas, he had a couple thresholds that he was trying to hit, so we tried to sneak in one last shipment before the end of the year.
And guess what? Even if you could buy some stuff that you probably wouldn't normally buy. Like basically, what can you do to help him meet his number?
Mm-hmm.
If that means you've got to buy an extra $5,000 of some stuff that you're gonna have to break even on, or maybe even lose $1 or $2, the goodwill that's going to create in his mind is going to make you $100,000 or $1 million over the next 2-3 years.
So it is definitely a good conversation point for the rest of the year. Ask them if there's any sort of goals that they're trying to hit personally, and see if you can help them reach that.
That's such a good point. If you ask your sales rep that, hey, what sales goal do you need to hit and how can I help you get there? You'd be shocked the type of opportunities that they just lay into your lap.
Suddenly that price you've been wanting all year is a little easier to get. Yeah.
So true. Great
About
point.
100 units of a lead that tanked down to 20% ROI. I mean, that's not terrible.
That's not even a tank.
Yeah, push volume.
Especially not on December 9th. Because if that deal's not accessible anymore, which there's a good chance that it's not accessible anymore, price should see some increase here too.
How does the payout work? Yeah, so payout's just going to be everything Amazon owes you after like any inbound shipping, like things you're actually buying, plus all like the Amazon fees. So usually it'll be like 65 to 75% of your revenue paid back out to you, and then out of that you cover cost of goods and all your costs.
Luckily, Boxum does a pretty good gives a pretty big. Gosh dang, gives a pretty good breakdown on that home analytics page. It shows how much valuation you have in FBM, if in FBA, what's inbound, all that good stuff.
We got some crazy stuff in the works for y'all
I
on
heard,
the numbers front as well. Yeah.
Well, and the estimated, what I like to look at too is the estimated sales value of all my inventory. So if my inventory is worth, let's say 500K sales value, then I know realistically my payout is going to be about 70% of that. So that's kind of how I get a ballpark idea for how much money I'm going to be getting over the next few weeks.
It's also a good metric to keep track on, right? Pick one day out of the month and just go into Boxum and see how that valuation progresses. Say the 30th or the 28th or the 15th of every month. Just go in on a sheet, say January 15th, February 15th, and just track how your business is growing. And that's like a cool data point to just track over the year.
You can track your like actual sell-through rate with that as well.
And really the higher your inventory value, assuming you're buying good products, the higher your inventory value, the more you're going to sell. It's a simple correlation. My biggest sales months ever were when I had the most amount of money invested in the inventory. Like it's pretty simple when you think about it, which goes back to setting that weekly or that daily or that monthly spending goal and hitting that consistently is going to be the number one thing you can do to grow consistently. It's just buying more often.
Yeah, just make sure you're not like buying stuff that you shouldn't just to force numbers down the main.
Yep.
I think we've all been there at some point. Is like, oh, I'm just gonna buy a ton of stuff because I can. And then you look back, and get a bunch of slow stuff selling. So yeah, stick to the standards. If you are trying to force stuff to buy, what I've learned is force it on the 25 ROI products. Don't force it on the products that sell a little bit slower than you usually like to look for it. The worst case you make a little bit less profit, but you can always move it.
Is there anything I can do for UPS to make FBM bulk orders easy to add? Yeah, so VQ or VQ, whatever that website is, the USPS scan sheet, it's called. Go into your settings, prints out at the end of every day. Your USPS person will thank you.
Yep, that in general, ask them. They'll typically ask them if they have any bags you can use. Right there, that'll be really helpful too. That's like a lifesaver, the USPS bags. I even still got some at the crib in Pennsylvania. But these they're like clear ones that say like USPS on. That makes your life way easier. And just ask them too, because they're a long-term partner. The same way your home is you're networking with are long-term partners. The same way your prep center is a long-term partner. Ask them from their perspective what would be most helpful for them too, as well.
This dude Miles always doing laundry. He also
that's true. That is true. It's always during stream somehow.
That's
it's always during stream.
He had a good question too. So he said, in the beginning of a wholesale conversation, when a distributor or a brand asks solely for your brand website, but you have no products because you're just starting out, will this be a problem? So no, because you can always have just an informational website, just a simple one-page landing page that just says who you are and what you do, just those two things. So if you have that in place, that's enough to go to a brand and just explain to them how you operate. And then when it comes to your sales channels, you'd explain that you've got e-commerce sales channels and you take it from there.
But the thing is, right, with the website, a bad website's going to do more harm than a good website will.
That's so true. That's a great point.
A lot of people talk about the website, how it's so crucial, so important. And then they go and spend $20 on some Fiverr guy to put together a really, really cheap looking one. It's going to do way more harm than a really solid one would do good.
That's a great point. Yeah. A bad website, in my opinion, is super unprofessional. If anything, it just shows you have no idea what you're doing. So I would have either invest in a good website or just don't have one at all.
Yeah, Gianni asked a good question on that too. When you first made it, you had no products to view. Did they still want to work with you? And I know I had a website like that, and it didn't matter. Like, you're just pitching value. Like for me, the website was like, here's what we do for your brand. We're Amazon sellers. Yeah, I assume your site was the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same thing. I mean, I've got both. I've got a site with a retail site, and I've got an informational site. And the informational site basically just says, this is what we do. Here are some of the brands that we've worked with, and this is how we operate. Right? Simple as that.
It's basically just like one landing page, maybe two, with like, here's how we can help you make more sales, not just like hello, we are the people who sell on Amazon. It's like
Yeah.
we can do these couple things and help you make more sales overall because that's what they want to know for wholesale.
Do you guys recommend selling Walmart as well, or just focus on Amazon? Yeah, get Walmart going too. We have a really good Buy Box Bandits podcast Garrett and I did like a month and a half ago on all podcast platforms.
Yeah, I got a good YouTube video on it too. You can dive into.
Boom, facts. Yeah. You guys are saying to use repricer for increasing minimums. Who are most people using? What repricer? Yeah, BQOOL. Warner and I both have good free tutorials. You guys can check out on YouTube on that. Just shipped out 20 packages, all toys, making $5 to $15. Is that normal? That's great. I hope you make it normal.
I feel like for toys this time of year, that is kind of normal, depending on the price, right? If it's a decent size or a decent price toy. So yeah, that's incredible. Made his first $500 in sales ever. That's awesome too. Congrats.
Did you guys make your own website or hire? I'm gonna hire someone.
For sure. Yeah.
You could really easily make one on CARRD.com though too. It's honestly a decent skill to have. As well, but yeah, get someone on Fiverr.
You can get somebody on Fiverr. You can get an actually like decent passable website for like $300.
Yep,
100%.
Super worth it comparatively, especially the time you save too. You know, because your time's pretty valuable if you're looking to get into wholesale too. Based on your OA and RA experience, you can make some good profit in that extra time you save.
Yeah, an interesting like exercise on that. If you're trying to like make your time more valuable, is set the value of your time and then outsource everything that's below that, assuming you have cash. If you don't have cash, that exercise is pointless. But over time, like it naturally gets there. Let's say you make $300 an hour and that website takes you 2 hours to build. All right, you go hire it out because that's a $150 an hour task, right? So that's just like, that's how I like to look at things sometimes.
Dude, TaskRabbit is awesome.
Dude, it's incredible. Yeah, I'm hiring somebody to build my sauna for me off it.
And so you get the VAs to come in person? It's like
it's literally an in-person VA. Like it's the greatest thing ever.
Every team you've ever owned has been hung by a TaskRabbit person.
And they'll do anything. Like there's a category, there's like 50 different categories of stuff you can get them to do.
And the most random stuff too, like wait in a line, like go shopping.
Exactly. Like take my package to the UPS store. Like, yeah, it's good stuff.
I need you to get me 20K a month in profit. Yeah, let's get it, man. Sounds good. So let's see. Recently got regated in brands I was selling. Is there any reason why this might happen? It happened about 3 weeks ago on certain big brands that were typically counterfeited. It is not typical though. Yeah.
Yeah. Sling them on Walmart. Walmart's been a good backup plan. I was just checking the Walmart sales over here. Actually, it's fun to check like Walmart sales. I don't ever look at Amazon anymore. Sometimes I'll check Walmart. It feels like mentally one Amazon seller one Walmart seller is worth like 10 to me right now.
So true.
How and where can I get
Fiverr?
Fiverr.
Fiverr. Yeah, Fiverr. It's FIVERR. Yeah.
Did all the like brand gates get fixed?
A lot of them got reversed, but
not all of them. Not all of them. Yeah. It's very true. Yes, sir.
The fact that it's so random means that it's just they don't really know what they're doing right now, unfortunately.
Do I have to ungate each thing from the same brand? If I ungated Sour Patch Kids, do I have Hershey's ungated? It depends what brand that listing's under, which in that context, it probably is under the main brand right there. But for example, Nike and Jordan are separate brands on Amazon, right? So so most likely they'll be under the same one, but they won't necessarily be. The cool thing is JG, it's nice and easy, for example, and that if you can, you're buying from legit place, you'll just use that purchase documentation to
very super cool guy. 1, 2, 3. If you could use one sourcing method for life, what would you choose? For me, storefront stocking for sure.
Yeah, I think it's probably reverse sourcing, especially if we're talking like from day one. Maybe there's a case to be made for manual now that we like have several years in the game, but yeah, I mean, if you have to pick one, it's reverse.
Yeah, there's an ungodly amount of time wasted by new sellers doing manual in unproven places. Meanwhile, when you do storefront stalking, you guarantee that every listing you look at is vetted, which means you have a significantly higher hit rate. Really, the only time to do manual is when you already know somewhere is good and you know it's a good time to do that, which is like a good sale.
Well, when you're in the actual storefront on SellerAmp, think about how easy it is and quick it is to disqualify a product. You can see if Amazon's on listing. You can see if the buy box is trending down. SellerAmp even gives you like an estimated buy cost that you can reference when Googling, all seconds, and you have an idea if the lead is good or not. As opposed to you starting on a store like a site, takes you 15 seconds, 30 seconds to actually even find the Amazon listing, and then you go through all the same process that you already were at reverse sourcing.
Well, and it's funny because we teach the same thing on the wholesale side, right? Like I would never even contact a brand for a wholesale account unless there were already FBA sellers selling that brand, right? Because if there are other FBA sellers selling that brand, then they've essentially vetted that brand for me, right? Like they wouldn't be selling it if it's not profitable. So that's one of my criteria. I won't even call a brand or a distributor unless that brand is already being sold by some FBA sellers.
Blessings, bro. Wish you nothing but the best. That's a W.
Appreciate you, Alejandro.
How are you guys managing your orders when sending them into a prep center? I could barely manage them myself, especially with all the partial.
Right. Jeff Bezos runs Amazon. You got to change to change. You got to level up. If other people can do it, you can too. You know what I mean? Now there's some formal things that'll help with that, VAs, spreadsheets, etc. Right there. But yeah, you just got to get a system that works specifically, which is going to be monitoring that email. Right, maybe going in once a day and updating all the different packages that are sent there, or getting a VA to do it.
Yeah, what part are you trying to track as well, Sway? Because on the way inside is pretty easy. Just the Seller Amp Google Sheet, click the button of anything you purchase. That Google Sheet is shared with your prep center. A cool like minor thing that we added to Seller Amp is that you can integrate your Google Sheets with existing tabs on Google Sheets you already have. So if your prep center has a Google Sheet they're already using, go ahead and integrate it with that. Then you click a button, they see everything they need to know. And then at the end of every month, just go in and make sure that do a quick audit compared to like Seller Central that, hey, they said they shipped 10 of these. Let me make sure there's actually 10 of these in my account. Because there can also be some leakage where the prep center either miscounts or something like that. And they didn't actually send it all. But beyond that, like, yeah, it should be, most of that is just kind of tedious, time consuming. It's not really like super difficult.
If you could see the link I just put in the chat, I put up a YouTube video kind of like using Gmail automations to kind of filter your inbox and funnel that into a Google Sheet. So check that out as well.
Nice.
And Toxic, it seems like he's doing 100% FBM and he wants to switch to FBA. He's asking kind of what that transition looks like. You guys have insight for him? It's actually a lot simpler than he probably realizes.
Yeah, man. I think you're overthinking it a little bit. You literally just start FBA and stuff. Then there's a little bit of a lag of sales, right, when you're transitioning over from FBM to FBA. But you don't really have a choice, right? Because once we hit like Christmas and really early January, a lot of listings go from super FBM friendly to slowly becoming less and less FBM friendly. There, yeah.
But the thing is, all the time that you're using to package and prep and send those orders out individually, now you can spend sourcing, now you can spend buying, now you can spend calling brands, calling distribution companies, network with people that you find on Twitter, right? If you can leverage a prep center, all that time you get back and just funnel it into higher leveraged, higher ROI activities, like all the things I just mentioned.
Yeah.
When you list a product and want to match the buy box price, which price do you add from Seller Amp? The price that's
current buy box or above. Yeah, current buy box or above.
Exactly. Yeah, when you're listing stuff FBA, use Boxem auto list above buy box like 20%, and then once that listing checks in, drop the buy box or drop your price to the buy box, right? FBM, just match the buy box. Don't worry about the buy box on Seller Amp. Just look at the one on Amazon. They're typically going to be the same thing, but you want to prioritize the one that shows on Amazon.
Yeah, and then this time of year, also when you're looking at pricing, you'll see a ton of items where it'll hover between 30, 35, and it's just going right back and forth, right? Because the buy box is just trying to find anybody to give sales to. So if you're seeing items like that, make sure you set it at that higher price, and then let the other people make the cheaper sales.
This one may trigger Corey. What did you guys buy with your first Amazon?
Yeah, I was funny. I was going to read that.
I like that.
A car.
more inventory because my first payout was like probably $40 or something.
And then the next one was more inventory, and then the next one was more inventory, and then 3 years later, not really.
I guess the better question.
Yeah, it was like 2 years I started taking some.
I was going to say the better question is when did you guys first take money out? I'd be very curious to know that.
10K a month profit, but it's also dependent on your personal situation. We were all so young that like it's different.
Living expenses were zero. Yeah,
literally, right? Which is a major blessing, but also if you're a young guy watching this, get the fuck after it too.
It's never going to be. Yeah, it's never as easy as it is right now if you're young and you're watching this. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, you can afford to go back to work in the 9 to 5 or whatever.
You guys didn't buy a Lambo with your first payout?
Yeah, with
my $40.
Yeah, with $27 or whatever it was. Yeah, no Lambo, unfortunately.
I feel guilty when buying a nice dinner. I'm all like,
That's
you could have
funny,
flipped this,
yeah.
you dumbass. Yeah. No, I mean, you always could say that, but you gotta make time.
That never changes, by the way. So no matter how much money you're making, it's
fact.
I could have put this into the SPY or something like that, right? Like
Toxic. Yeah. Doing too much prep, killing my time daily. Yeah. I mean, that is one of the downsides of FBM. That, the upsides are that you get your cash flow a lot quicker, you get orders out the door a lot quicker. It's easy to scale and easy to start up and do, but it takes a lot of time. So if you're doing all those FBM orders yourself, then yeah, FBA could be a way to kind of buy back your time and be able to potentially sell more. But not that you should ever stop doing FBM. If I were you, I'd maybe find somebody to pack the orders for me if they're taking up all your time.
Yeah. Late to the game. Just got my Amazon account up over the weekend. Everything is gated. Yeah. So the cool thing is you can get ungated anything you can apply for, and a lot of stuff is open too, right? So don't let needing to apply for the ungate hold you back from buying stuff that's profitable, because that's the only way to start selling that stuff, and therefore it's clearly doable, right? Stuff that's auto ungated for you guys is like Stafford, 32 Degrees, Athletic Works, and then if you storefront stock those listings, you're going to find other stuff that's good as well. Yeah.
Yeah. For all y'all like still on like the gating is the roadblock side of things, Miles and I both have good videos. Just look up auto ungated sourcing and then storefront stock any of those products we find on the video.
What do you guys think about packaging? If you're engineering to a little studio apartment, just getting started on wholesale, and how should I ship these out without preps? So that if you're doing wholesale and that's the goal, I would really go and consider that preps in a route, because there's going to be a lot of accounts that you're limited on without a commercial address, right? When you apply, a lot of your sales reps are going to type in or Google, look up your address and just kind of see if that's a commercial address, residential address. So you'll get a lot of no's off the bat without that commercial address, which is not really even worth. I mean, it's so easy to get a commercial address nowadays.
But Gianni, to answer your question, just ship those out SPD. And like Garrett said, I would look for a prep center sooner than later, because you're only going to be able to scale up so far with your studio apartment. I would learn the shipping process if you haven't already, but it sounds like you might have already kind of know the ropes there, and then just outsource that to a prep center ASAP.
Jay Tyndall, click request approval and it'll let you list it. Yeah.
But you could also schedule UPS pickups. Should I call you? So you can schedule them. I think they're like $7 a day if you pirate ship. Super cheap, super easy.
Okay, bruh, tell your mom that instead you're going to work a job for $3K a month after taxes the next 50 years. She would much rather have you doing what you're doing right now. She just isn't thinking long term.
Yeah, get her a nice Christmas present. It'll be good.
Yeah, like everything in life has trade-offs, like literally.
When you suggest to do private, I mean, so none of us actually do private label. I know Miles is starting to think that way, but like we're a wholesale OA. That's our kind of specialty.
It's funny. Let's see, where's one? Oh, Pete said FBA is only for those that go through the proper FBM character development program.
Character development program. I like that.
Correct things I ever heard. Yes.
I've actually, dude, I've shipped like one FBM order in my life, so I know Miles is about to kick me from the stream. So see you.
Yep.
I deserve it.
Impeccable.
I've sold maybe less than 200 total FBM orders. Even with our prep center, there was maybe, I think, 2 products that we've ever FBM through them. But I mean, nothing wrong with it. I think it's great. I just haven't done much of it myself.
Yeah,
somebody bought you a coffee there, Miles.
That's
only if you know how to find products yourself. So if you're consistently finding products, if you're consistently spending money, and the bottleneck is you just don't have enough time to continue to buy more products, but you have the cash, then a VA is probably the option. But if you're already tapped out on cash, or if you can't find products on your own, YouTube, all 4 of us have channels. Continue to reverse yourself and get better and more fluent with finding products, analyzing products, spending money. And once you then reach the threshold where you just simply don't have enough time and you need to buy more products, then start to look for a VA to help find that. But because the problem is too many people start to use those VA routes without even being fluent themselves. And then they can't offer critiques. They can't offer support. They can't train them themselves. And it's an unproductive relationship.
Yeah, Taylor, you'll just buy 10 from a different big website. Yeah. Even Uncle Wi-Fi. Ooh, even Uncle Wi-Fi. That's what's up right there. Oh, that's love. Big shout out to Uncle Wi-Fi there too. He's gonna feel a little gassed up when I send this to him. Right there. What is a good sell-through rate? Yeah, anything above 1% is cool, but it also depends like how new you are too, as well and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I do want to answer the question from somebody who gave you some money there. They're saying they are getting some errors before submitting a listing to Amazon. You have no errors highlighted. Yeah, I don't really know what you mean there, man. I would list it through Voxum, and then it can probably tell you more specifically what's going on. But there's a lot that can go weird with listing on Amazon. So if you can't figure it out, then I would also hit up support on that too.
It could be what like Amazon's the error that he's getting is that there's like 50 variables missing from the listing. So, when you create a listing from scratch, you've got to enter like size, color, like all these different data points. And it could be that like 50 of those are missing.
Oh, he might be trying to create his own listing.
That's how I understood it.
So if you're trying to create your own listing, good idea later down the line, but sell some stuff that already sells for now. Because it can be really complicated. Yeah. Interesting.
I was wondering if you're going to highlight that.
Toxic, very friendly. Cool. All right. So I'm about to do my best. 2017 Steph Curry? What year was the 81 and 10 or the 72 and 9? Whatever it was.
No clue.
If you're going to the gym today, you're in for a rude awakening. There's this dude who always watches the stream who always asks me on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok today, but he'll ask me all the time, and the answer's never yes, and today it's yes. Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. So those are auto and gates, dude. So not everything's going to be like that, but some stuff is. Check out our auto and gate list. Warner and I, like a year and a half ago, put together a big list of auto and gate ASINs. And if you search Flips for Miles auto and gate, Fields of Profit auto and gate on YouTube, you'll find some good auto and gate live sourcing.
Yeah, you're likely looking at an ASIN that's just out of stock for that size. So take the parent ASIN. If you go to the Keepa, go to the details left column, you take the parent ASIN, plug it into the add a product on Voxum or sellers or Amazon catalog, and then just sift through all the variations and you'll find the right one.
Yep. See, Houseway been my dog for like a year and a half. That's what's up. That's what's up there. Yeah.
Cool guys. That's a good question though.
Do that. Go gradually scale in there.
Yeah. Don't go dropping all your savings on anything.
Right. And also, too, guys, we have a free live training going down Wednesday night. So if you haven't yet been to one of those, it's our last one of the year. So make sure you get registered for that. Go.thefbaroadmap.com/register. Y'all check that out. Be great. Talk to you guys soon right there.
See you guys.
Yes, sir.
Good vibes. You'll have a good rest of your Monday.